Hey guys, it's Scott Patton, and this is what's happening on Lake Chickamauga. Hey guys, Scott Patton here, and I got my what's happening on Chickamauga. You know, I know it's probably been going on 10, 12 days since I've done one of these, but the fish has not changed a whole lot. It's actually been getting tough on a lot of days. We've had a couple decent days where we're calling them, and those have been the cloudy, windy days. It just depends. These fish seem to me, when you find the better fish, that they're really grouped up together, but it's just getting them to come out and eat a bait has been the problem. And I've kind of done some change up, you know, because I know these fish are getting a lot of pressure down here. I've been in several tournaments down here this time of year, and anytime you got several guys going over the same areas over and over and over and throwing basically the same baits, you better think outside the box just a little bit. But I'm going to kind of go through what I've been doing. I've had to cover a lot of water, but even if I have a fish follow me out and don't hit a particular lure, sometimes I've been able to go over that spot 2 or 3 times and figure out a lure I can get me 2 or 3 out of, okay? So it might be something you want to keep in mind. You come down here, if you get a fish follow you out or catch one, don't just keep moving. You can kind of hit that, you know, 10, 15 yard area, and I've seen several times there be a school of quality fish in those spots. So, you know, in the mornings, I've been starting out, I'm still throwing a frog some. You know, we don't have a lot of mats left, and they really got pounded this past week. You know, we had that kayak tournament down here, and then we had another big tournament down here out of Dayton, and I'm sure there were some up on the south end lake too. But, so a lot of these frog fish with the mats that we got left got beat up. I really fished for them the last 2 or 3 days because I know they've been pounded on. But yeah, as the week goes on and they get less pressure, hopefully I can still get those frog fish to bite because they've been good fish. And I myself, I mean, I've been throwing different colors. Y'all got a black one tied on here, but we throwing popping frogs, we throwing white ones. The key to me has been just really fishing this bait super slow. You know, the bites are scattered. You know, I might get 2 or 3 bites in, you know, a 20 yard stretch, but then I may go another, you know, 150 yards before I get another bite. So you want to come down here, frog, you're going to have to look for the mats, what we've got left, and but you can still catch fish down here on a frog if that's what you want to do. And of course, you know, I still got them tied on for us, because you may pull up on a small section. You know, we're losing these mats every day, so you may pull up on a small section where you can still pop you 1 or 2 good fish out of it. So you want that frog tied on, you guys, that's for sure. And I've been able, on the windier days, I've been able to get some fish, hit a buzz bait, and it's been so hit or miss on this buzz bait. I haven't gotten very much of a topwater bite, But it seemed like if I do get one, it's been when we had a chop on the water and fishing this thing really shallow, and you know, in 1 to 3 foot of water, really 1 to 2 foot of water, and that scattered grass that's up on these flats and stuff. You can still find some good fish. And I'm not talking about giants, but some good fish up on these flats and stuff like that. Fish up buzzbait, and I've been fishing it fairly slow. I've thrown different ones. This is just one I make as a chartreuse and white. That gold blade seems to be working. You know, we've thrown them with just swim tail on it and stuff like that. But you know, of course, you want to throw it. I'm throwing it with a trailer hook. Depends. A lot of these fish, like I say, they haven't been real aggressive towards baits. Of course, they're eating every day. I just think they're receiving a lot of pressure, and you want to make sure you got that trailer hook tied on that buzzbait. I've got this little 20-pound test mono. I usually throw it on mono. You can throw it on braid. I don't normally throw a buzzbait on fluorocarbon. I just don't like to. But anyways, I got my 7-foot power rod right here, and it's got good action to it. That 704 rod. Again, like I said, I always forget 705. I don't know why I wouldn't call that rod a 704. But anyways, so the buzzbait's another bait I've been throwing every day, catching, you know, at least getting some bites and catching a few on it. You know, really junk fishing, I swear. I mean, it's hardly any true pattern that I can find, because all these grass beds have been so beat on, you know, in the last month and a half. But you know, I've got my Lucky Craft vibrating bait tied on. You know, anything chrome and blue seems like it's been working. I've been staying towards more a smaller one. That's the LB 500, I think that one is. It may be a 150, but something in that Aurora blue color has been great. Throwing it on 7-foot power rod, and I'm throwing it on either 15 or 17-pound test fluorocarbon on this right here. But still, to try and true every day is put more fish in the boat. Any bait that we're throwing is throwing this just a jackhammer, throwing a 3/8 ounce most of the time, fishing it real shallow in the grass. And I'm also going on the main river where you see everybody else fishing the main river grass beds and stuff like that in the river channel. But you've had to get this thing down into the heart of that cover. I'm telling you, you can't stay way off the outside edges of it, being afraid to throw it in there. The guys I've had, you know, that we've done good on, or the ones that's not been afraid to throw it up there as thick as they can. A lot of times it may hang, but a lot of times you can pull it through and that bait starts vibrating, boom, that's where that fish hits. That fish is tight in that grass. Throw it on 17 or 20-pound test fluorocarbon, because you definitely still catch a giant down here. And but anyways, that's been the probably most produced bait for me in the last 2 weeks than any of them I'm throwing, as far as a single bait. Now, something I've been throwing here in the last week or so, it's just been an old paddle tail swim bait. This is a great bait. I've caught fish on this thing for years. You don't see a lot of guys throwing them anymore. And the reason I've been throwing it is because there's a lot of gizzard shad up there in that 1 to 2 foot of water, especially on these warmer nights and stuff like that. And we've been getting plenty of warm weather. That them gizzard shad are up in that real shallow water, and them fish are up there chasing them gizzard shad. And that's just a little bit bigger bait. I got it on weedless 3/8 ounce, and I throw it on 3/8 and a half ounce. I believe this might be a half. I've been throwing this one more on the main river edge. Again, I'm throwing it deep into that grass and swimming it through there, because them fish are burying that grass. It's crazy. A lot of times when we hook one, we'll have 2 or 3 following it in. So this is something, like I say, I just don't think they see. They've been seeing a bunch. This is an older type swim bait, but this thing's been catching fish for us. And I got a trip out tomorrow. We're going to be throwing it again tomorrow. Throw it again on 17, 20-pound test line. I got on my Pal Naked rod. This is a 7.2 medium heavy, and it's just perfect for that, because that way I can still pull that bait out of that grass that gets hung in that grass. Stuff, you guys. Like I said, you got to get these baits in this cover, you guys, really draw the better fish for us. One other bait I've been throwing is more of an older bait. It's a Sebile Swimmer. I've been throwing these things for years. At certain times of years, I'll get them out, and it seems like really when it gets tough, it's always been a good time for me to get them out. This is just more of a green gizzard color. I don't know what color really they call that one right there. But we've had a few fish hit this, but the key with this bait, man, I've had some big ones follow it to the boat. So it's drawing attention to some, I'm talking about, some 5-6 pounders. We haven't caught those big ones, but they've been following it. So maybe if that water temperature drops just a little bit more, I'm gonna keep throwing it, because, it's helping us find fish for one. and two, I'm hoping they really get on this thing by fishing it real slow, and you can fish it in, you know, pretty tight in that grass that's real shallow too, because it doesn't sink real fast. But it's been a great bait. I'm throwing on 20-pound test fluorocarbon, and just reeling it real slow as I can. It's just been a great bait to draw out some of those bigger fish, and I really hope that they really get keyed in on it. But I'm just letting you know that. Hopefully, if you're down here, if you got one of those, then you can throw it. So, anyways, you know, I know it's not a lot. You know, it's been a weird year this year. We've had a weird fall, weird weather, and you know, of course, we're definitely getting pressure on the lake too. But it's not enough to where it should be as tough as it is. But I really think that as we go on deeper in the fall, if it ever cools off, we'll really have them cooler, you know, cooler days and stuff like that where it stays consistent. I think these fish will really get a feed on. At least I'm hoping so. I may be here on Chickamauga till about the middle of December before I go to Okeechobee. I haven't decided just yet. But if anybody's looking for a trip down here on Chickamauga, make sure you get a hold of me. And again, I will be going to Okeechobee, guiding there at Roland Martin's Marina over the winter, and I'll be there through March. So if you're wanting to do a live shiner artificial trip down there on Okeechobee, get a hold of me, book you a date down there. You can stay there at Roland Martin's and stuff like that. Great place to stay, fun place. And the lake's really been fishing good down there too. But anyways, this is what's happening on Chickamauga, and I hope you guys are catching them. Good luck to you, and yell at me if you see on water. I appreciate all of you guys that have subscribed and followed me and comment on my videos. It means a lot to me, and it's even real cool how many guys have reached out to me and said hi to me. I throw in the water in the parking lot where we may be, but I appreciate that a bunch of you guys, and good luck to you. We'll see you on the water. Until next time, I'll bring you some more info. Thanks, guys.